How to get funding for your business even with bad credit. Hi, I'm Noelle Randall, real estate millionaire, entrepreneur, mentor, speaker, author, mama 5, and so much more. And in this interview style video, we are going to be meeting Joe from National Business Capital. He's the CEO, and Joe helps you grow. He helps you grow your business with business funding, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Joe is going to share with us exactly how to get funded for your business, what lenders are looking for, what type of lenders you should be going to, how to get the money even with bad credit, and what you should do with the money once you get it. We're going to go through everything in this video, so don't you miss one step. I'm going to make sure that you get every secret answer to this question about business funds. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Okay, I am so excited to be here with you, Joe, from National Business Capital. You know so much about business funds and how to get capital for one's business, how to get funds for one's business is your area of expertise. And I'm just so thankful to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Noelle. It's great to see you again. I hope you're well. I hope 2021 was amazing, and super pumped about 2022 and happy to be on your show again. So thank you for having me.
Yes, and you gave so many gems last time. We are just going to give all the gems. I told people that in 2022, that is my mission. I'm just going to be sharing everything. Like, I'm just going to pull the curtains back because I'm passing the baton to all of you other entrepreneurs. So we are going to get right into it. And let's just talk about how getting funds for your business, how getting business funding can really help your business grow. How is that? Because people are so scared of getting debt. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's actually a really great conversation. And just so you know, too, like, we've helped a ton of Noelle's followers now get financing, and it's been a pleasure to work with your fans, and they love you, Noelle, just an FYI, and they appreciate all this amazing content that you're putting out. So keep doing what you're doing. You know, it's important to know, you know, debt is a good thing when utilized for the right reasons. So I think we've all been raised, and especially like our old school generation, like my parents and my grandparents would say, like, never have any debt. Like, if you're buying silly things and racking up credit cards on wasteful things, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But if you're borrowing money to go and make more money, it usually will always make a ton of sense, and it's a lot cheaper than giving up equity, you know, in your business.
So let's really get into that. How does it help your business grow? How does borrowing money, which seems so contradictory, how does it help your business get bigger? How could that be?
Yeah, well, you know, most people think when businesses are doing great that they don't need any money, but if you're growing and if you're growing fast, you actually need more money than a business that's not growing, which is really weird. Because
why is that?
So let me give you some examples. So, you know, let's say you have a trucking business. You're a truck driver, you own your truck, and maybe you've got 2 other trucks, right? So let's just say when you first got started, you had 1 truck. Well, if you want to buy another truck, you're either going to use your own cash or you go and borrow money, right? You get that truck and you now have a payment on the truck. Now you're going to need to hire someone, put them in that truck. But here's what gets interesting. So now you've got a truck, you just hired a new employee, but now you got to go do work and you got to go deliver things for people. So a lot of times in business, one, like that new driver, you have to lay out a salary for. And then if you deliver something for Target or Walmart, you give them an invoice, they don't pay you for 30 days later. So like that money's got to come from somewhere. So people will come to us to borrow money for those things, to go buy the truck, to have some extra, like a credit line, to pay that driver, to pay for their gap and getting paid. And then once the business catch up for themselves, then you can pay off your credit line or whatever. Does that make sense?
Okay, so give me some ideas. What are some of the things that businesses should do with business funding? You know, if they're borrowing money, what should they do with it?
So any type of revenue generating thing. So a few things, like e-commerce businesses, they're buying more inventory. If they're able to access more money, they can buy inventory in bulk, and they can sell more. Marketing, like if you know what's working in your business, you just need to drive in more leads. That could
Right.
leads could be customers coming to your physical
That's a strong
location.
one. That's a strong one. And people don't
Yeah.
actually think of that one about spending money on marketing, on advertising, on Google ads and Facebook ads or billboards and all of that stuff to drive more business to the business. Is a great use of a business funding.
100%. So, and then
Yeah.
marketing equals leads equals customers and hopefully
Right.
equals more sales and profit, right?
Yeah, and then you're able to pay the debt back.
Exactly right. And then
Okay.
hopefully, the goal is, when you borrowed this money, your company was here. Now I borrowed it and got it here. And now from that extra money I'm making, I'm able to pay down what I borrowed.
Okay. All right, Joe. So you have national business capital, but you guys are not a bank, right?
No, we're not a bank. We are one of the nation's leading business financing lenders and marketplace.
Okay. Okay.
So
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I started National in 2007 out of my bedroom, and it was just myself and my dog and one or two friends from high school, and it's grown into an amazing company today. We've got a rock star team. We're an award-winning team, and we built a great platform that has over 75 lenders on it, and we've helped secure over $1 billion in financing. It's been a
So
wild
having
journey.
those 75 lenders, I'm sorry to interrupt. So having 75 lenders, obviously a bank is just one, you'd have to go to each bank one by one, but with you having 75 lenders, what does that do?
Yeah,
or
so
mean
what
for
that
person?
means, and I built this platform and tech and all
Yeah.
this stuff, right? What the heck does all
Yeah.
this mean? So basically what we've done is we've digitalized the process. So you can apply right on our website. It's really simple and easy. You can do it in under 3 minutes. You apply, it's a digital application. We can do a secure bank connection. So instead of you have to, emailing all of your statements, you can either upload them to us, or you can put your credentials in. We pull in all that information right from your your business bank account, and then basically in minutes, we can pretty much get a quick snapshot and understand your business. And then our technology, along with really great people here, will match you to the right lender or lenders that we think will be a good fit. So when you apply with us, we'll get all of your information and we look at everything.
Wow.
We do a soft pull on your credit so it doesn't affect your credit score, but we get a snapshot of what your credit looks like. We look at your business credit. It doesn't matter if you have it or not, that's okay. And then we look at your sales. And then one of our business financing advisors actually calls you. We have real people that work here. We're not robots like a lot of other companies.
Yeah.
And we call you and we have a conversation. We want to understand, what do you need money for? What are you looking to use money for? It's a very easy
So
conversation.
talk to me about some of the type of businesses. We got all different types of people that watch my channel, listen to my podcast. What are some of the types of businesses that can get business funding or funding for their business?
We work with every business. If you're a business in business doing sales, we can work with you. We like to see that you're doing at least $10,000 a month in sales or more. The more, the better.
Yeah.
And we like to see that you're in business for at least a year. But if you're a little bit less, we can still help you. But what's cool is when you apply with us, we have a very simple conversation. Everyone who works in my team is awesome. It's not this stiff conversation. It's not stuffy. There's no technical terms. It's just like, hey, what's your name? Who are you? What's your business? Tell me what you got going on. What are you excited about? What are you looking to do with your company? And based on that conversation, if you're the guy that owns a trucking company, I want to buy trucks, then we might use equipment financing and finance it over a long period of time, right? So if you're like, hey, I want to hire some people, we might utilize a credit line. So we have every option here that exists when it comes to your business for financing. So if you want an SBA loan, we can help you with that. If you want a small business loan or a term loan that has a long period of time to repay, we can help you with that. If you want to finance equipment, we can help you with that. And then we have inventory loans and the list goes on. So, if you told me that, hey, I want to go buy a bunch of inventory because I sell things online, I'm in e-commerce, then we might go look at a credit line or an inventory loan. If you're like, hey, I just bought a location, I need to build out this whole location, we might look at an SBA loan over a 10-year repayment term, very low rate. Or we might go really fast and do a 2-year business term loan that's really easy to get now. You don't need real estate collateral and all that stuff. So it really does matter. What's more important is, and I say this all the time now, when I got started, most lenders were not online. They didn't even have websites. They
Right.
you like, it was like who you knew, like,
Yeah.
and there was all these lenders, but it was like,
Exactly.
you had to be like in the
It
in
was so
club.
who you knew. And that it's
Yes.
funny you said that. It was so like, I'll
You had
give
to
you
like
this
go to
guy
your
and here's his
attorney who
phone number.
sent you this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very like weird, and
Yeah.
so now you Google small business loan or business line of credit, 8 million things come up. So it's like,
Yep.
it's super confusing. So what's more important today is not about getting approved, because we'll get you approved.
Yeah.
Even if you got the bad credit, like we'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
it's more important, are you getting the right funding option for your business? Because depending on what
Okay.
you're looking to use the money for, there's so many different options. Like, if
Yeah.
we've seen people try to use a credit line to buy a truck, but we can finance that truck over a 5-year repayment term and then not lock up your cash flow. So you can also go get a credit line. So you get a truck financing and a credit line and be like the smartest guy in town, or girl in town. So so it's really important that you're working with someone that gets this stuff and has access. There's a lot of companies out there that say that they're brokers, but a lot of them don't have access to all the lenders, and we're always adding the right lenders in to our marketplace. There's also a lot of lenders that reach out to us that want to be in our marketplace, and we say no because they're not bringing any value to the table or anything that we already have access to. So it's
So what are
pretty
some of
cool.
the things people should be aware of? You mentioned a couple, these brokers that they don't really have all these lenders, getting in the wrong financing. They're telling you should use a line of credit. And that's a good point you brought up, Joe. I swear, because I did some of those mistakes where I first got some funds and I used the wrong thing for the wrong thing. And I could have gotten a better situation, better financing.
Yeah. And you
what are
probably
some
could have
other
gotten
things?
more, like a lot of times we find that, like, now you locked up your credit and your cash flow. But if you would have done this loan, it didn't tie up everything over here. But then once you go and buy the truck, you can't do anything, like, because once the truck's bought, like it makes it very complicated to redo it all. So So what's important? I mean, it's really the most important thing is working with a group, like us. And I'm not biased. Like, say, you want to go, if you have someone, you've got your guy, like, it's all good. Use your guy.
Yeah.
But if your guy doesn't have access to all these programs,
you guys are good guys. You guys are good.
And so it's really understanding and you got to be able to talk through, like, what you're looking to accomplish, and then there's probably usually more than one option. So you want to be able to talk about that with somebody.
So one last thing, because sometimes people get really discouraged. You can get people funded. I've seen, like you said, up to $5 million of people getting approved. I've seen hundreds of thousands, 500,000, and I think I've seen a lot of that. That's been a good number. I've seen a lot of people get approved for up to $500,000. But say you don't qualify, for $500,000, and you can only get this small guy, maybe only $20,000 or just something like that. What should they do with that? Should they still take the loan? Should they still borrow that money for their business and go forward with just a small loan?
It's actually a really good question, and it happens pretty often. And most business owners, and being an entrepreneur, you're like automatically type A personality.
Right. We're like, I want $1 million for my business.
And I wouldn't say that me or Noel are not type A at all, by the way.
Right. We so are.
So I like you and everybody else, like we always think big, most entrepreneurs, right? So we always want, like, give me $500,000, I'll go and just do it. And I respect that. And you probably will, right? But if you can't get it, like all of it, you've got to start somewhere. And we always just want to do things big, and we want it now. And today, like, we're so spoiled. We want everything yesterday. But I would say, hey, if your business doesn't qualify for $500,000, that's okay. Start with whatever it is that you can get. More importantly, build a relationship, because you're going to need a financing relationship as you do grow.
Now we're talking, Joe. Now you're talking. And that was one of the mistakes, again, that I made, and you really pointed to. Like you said, we were talking about this and laughing, so we're now putting it online, that Noel wanted like $1 million for her business and was like, why can't I just get, and they told me, like, just take the 20,000 And it really does snowball. You create those relationships, you pay that money back, they automatically, if you're a good debtor, you know, they are a good lender, and you really become partners. They're almost like
Correct.
a partner and investor in your business.
Yeah, it's a great point. When we look at all of our customers, like we're your financing partner. And
Yeah.
you know, when you do work with us, it's not just about like we get one deal done, we never talk again. We have a whole team here that you have access to. They'll be your relationship managers, and we're here to work with you as you grow. And then the cool thing is when, you know, because we have access to all those lenders, you start whatever you can, put it to good use, get your business to the next level. You don't even have to be fully repaid back on your first deal. We can reevaluate everything and relook at it.
Yeah.
We can also, as you grow, other programs start to open up. So maybe you can get an SBA now, or maybe you're looking to buy a piece of equipment. We can finance that separately. Maybe you did a term loan. Now we can give you a credit line. Maybe we can refinance everything, stretch the term out, and give you more money. So it's not just about the first deal, and it's not just about using a bank or an online lender. Like you should be making a local, like have a relationship with a local business bank. You know, utilize an online lender. Maybe get to a certain point where raising or selling some equity makes sense. But it's not just about doing like as your business grows, it's a combination of everything. And relationships are the most important thing. And the most successful business owners have great relationships and absolutely have great financing relationships.
I love it. I love it. You know, another thing that I absolutely, first of all, I love your hats that say grow. You got to send me one of those hats. I got your little Yeti thing that I love, and I probably can't find it, but I have it. But I need one of those grow hats, Joe.
I will send you one.
I love that you guys are educators. You know what I mean? I think that is so freaking important to our businesses. Yes, that we have somebody that can help us and learn this. I was not a baby crawling around knowing all this stuff about being an entrepreneur and learning about business funding and business capital. It's people like us that were able to share information and teach each other, and that's how we're able to learn. So I'm thankful for your company. I thank you for sharing so much information, Joe. Can't wait to get my hat. And I will thank you so much, seriously. How can people reach you guys?
Yes, well, thank you, Noelle. I appreciate it. And we're here for that reason. Like the mission of our company is driving growth for all. And we're doing that through helping people get financing, but also things like this. That's the whole reason why I started my Grow by Joe channel, is to offer other things to help people grow. Because like I started my company from nothing, and I had to go through all those challenges and mistakes. So if I could share some of them and make it easier for you, that's why I do what I do. That's why Noelle does what she does. And, you know, we all have had some sort of great mentor behind us. It's super important to utilize them. But you know, how can you find us? Well, you can follow me at Grow by Joe, and you can check out my team at nationalbusinesscapital.com. But also in the description below, there'll be links in there. You can apply right on Noelle's page that's co-branded with me and her, and the team will take some extra and little extras, TLC and care. So make sure you apply down there. And more importantly, if you have any questions, just click on that link below. There's a phone number in there. You can speak with my team, and we're happy to talk through all this stuff. We make it really easy, and financing shouldn't be difficult. And you should know your different options and understand it. So, you know, we're here to help explain things. And don't worry if you don't understand all this stuff. We get that. That's why we're here.
Right.
And we'll never make you feel like you're not smart enough to talk to us. That's not our attitude here.
You guys are so awesome.
Well, great stuff. And make sure you keep growing, because that's the most important thing.
That's right.
Wow, that was an amazing episode. I really hope you learned a lot. I have created a special training that I'm going to give to you absolutely free. Do you want to learn real estate and how to start from real estate from scratch with almost no money using the formula that I did? Well, go to noellsfreetraining.com and check out that full training. Again, noellsfreetraining.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreetraining.com, and take this hour-long course where I will teach you in depth, in detail, how to invest in real estate, starting with almost no money and no connections. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.